D, wait for it, delightful.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
What's up, nerds? So, last night aired a new episode of Superman and Lois because last week they aired a rerun, those punks, so, and I was looking all forward to it and everything, and then they didn't air it, and I was like, what's going on here and everything. So it's back, and I'm like, yay, and everything. This was a good, pretty good episode. Real quick, they renewed this show for season 3. I mean, I'm pretty sure, I knew they pretty much would, because this show is so good. It's so good. I think that the people writing this show / doing this show, I think they get it. They get it. I think they know, what people want to see. I think they focus on the right things, storytelling, character development, all that good stuff. And I think that, they're these people, they're doing it right, Now, this episode was not my favorite in terms of the rest of the episodes this season, but, we got to see some things. I'm curious as to, where they're going with this like mirror universe and everything, this alternate universe or whatever, because like what is the end goal? Like when you join with your other self, what happens? Now, one of you, and I did not write down the name and I don't know what it is, but one of you commented in the comment section that Anderson is gonna be Doomsday. He's gonna become Doomsday, and I think that that's fascinating if that's true. That's that. In fact, now that they have said that, I'm like, well, and maybe I said this before, I can't remember, but Allie in the comic books is Parasite. She's like her and her brother are a new version of Parasite. So I'm like, what if when if he becomes Doomsday, what if she, when she joins with her other self, becomes Parasite, like the version of Parasite that is in the comic books? I'm like, that would be very interesting. But and then of course there's some people that just won't connect with their other self, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But like I said before, this was a solid episode, not an overwhelming happened action wise, in terms of like fighty and punchy punch, but some other stuff happened that I really did like. And I really like, I just like the relationships in this show. The relationship between Lois and Clark with his sons, the two brothers, because they're twins and I'm a twin. I'm just like, I totally get this whole relationship. Sarah's relationship with George, Lana and her husband, who I keep calling Alex, but that's not his name. One of you pointed that out. And I think that's the actor's name. And I'm all like, man, I'm screwing that guy's name up and everything. I don't, no disrespect, because I just like this show. I think it's so good. It's so good. And they're throwing in Superman every now and then. So good. I love it. All right, so now that I've done yapping, let me say one quick thing, and then we'll get started on this breakdown. But I just want to say, if you like what I do here and you enjoy independent content here on YouTube, please consider subscribing to my channel. YouTube is always changing up their algorithm, and small channels like mine, we always get shoved to the back of the line. So I please ask that you like, share, and subscribe, and I thank you in advance. Now that I've said that, let's get started. So it starts off a year ago and everything, and we go back to when John Henry Irons was, they were preparing his flight suit and the ship to stop bad Superman, black suit Superman. And she wakes up because he's left and everything, because she's having that memory. And this takes place back then in their little world or whatever, like a flashback. And she sees that there is an anomaly in their universe. And it's the portal that brought John Henry to our world, which I'll be very interested. Sorry, I'm going to need some coffee. It's like early for me, and I like literally just woke up and everything. Anyways, but I wonder if they'll talk about it this season, or if that's something they'll say for next season, because like it happened in season 1, him coming to our world, and then they talk about it. They showed it / talked about it some more here on this season. With her coming and everything. Anyways, but I wonder if they'll like season 3, they'll talk about this little distortion and what that means. So she sees it and she's like, oh no, I gotta go help my dad. I gotta go help him. So there's the ship and everything, and he's fighting off Superman, and the thing opens up, and she's following in her little ship. That's his ship. Sorry, I didn't get in. That's her little wackadoo ship. And so she's all like, what's that portal and everything? Sorry, I said it's so early. So her dad goes through the portal, and then she gets stuck in this big black abyss of nothing. And she's talking to her AI, which I don't remember the name. It's like Nebula. I don't remember. It started with an N, I think. And she's like, "Where are we?" She's like, "We're nowhere." And she's like, "Nowhere?" And I was like, "Ooh, I wonder if they're referencing." It's not called. Is it called Nowhere in the comic books? I can't remember. And he's like, my eyes are all messed up, and put some drops in them. Okay, so then it comes back to him in the hospital. He's like, I got a scar. He's like, it's a good thing it won't mess up my scar on my face and everything. She's like, Dad, and everything. And then these two come in, and she's pissed and everything. And she's all like, yeah, he's doing fine and everything. And he's like, listen, he's like, don't be so hard on her. I just want to spend some time with my girls. She's like, Dad, that's not Mom. He's like, and she's just like looking, he's like, yeah, I know. And she's like, what's going on with him? And the doctor's all like, it could be, it's some side effects of the surgery. It will probably go away in a couple of days. And she's like, well, I think we should do another brain scan just to be on the safe side. And she's like, okay, I'll order him up. And I'd be like, honey, Z-snap. Don't, just because you threw out some big words doesn't mean you know what you're talking about. But at the same time, she's worried about her dad. I do like this character. And I do understand why she's upset. So then he's all like, when your dad gets done with everything, I'll come pick you up and take you back to the house. And she's like, well, whatever, and everything. She's like, you did this. You didn't save him. He was saving you and everything. So then, back at the Cushing's house, Dad Cushing, Robert. I need to write it down. I'm gonna look it up real quick. So what he's doing is he is here to pick up Sarah because he's gonna take her to breakfast before school, and he's kind of talking to her, and he's all like, "Oh, you're just prepping for the big debate for mayorship and everything," and she's like, "Yeah," and everything, and he's all like, you're going to do great thing. And she's like, and then, if I could talk right now, sorry, I'm looking up that character's Kyle. His name is Kyle. Our actor's name is Eric. Anyways, so Kyle, and then, so he's all like, I thought I'd get you for breakfast and everything. And he's just like, all right, well, hey, see ya kind of thing. So then back at the house, they're talking because they got to talk to Jordan again because they need to find out who he got the drugs from, his girlfriend, which I want to talk about that again because I mentioned in another video, her V must be so good, you guys. It must be so good for him to keep this secret. Like, I'm all like he tries to, I'll talk about it in a minute. Okay. So like, all right, we got to do this. And she's like, you do it kind of thing. He's like, Rochambeau. And then they rock, paper, scissors. Is that what people call rock, paper, scissors? Rochambeau? Because I thought it was just rock, paper, scissors. But maybe that's like the official name of it. I don't know. And I've never heard it called that before. But anyways, so he loses and everything. And so they call the boys down. And Jordan's like, do I have to be here for this? And he's like, yeah, just in case you want to get any stupid ideas too. He's like, you have to tell us. And he's like, the school won't let you. Nobody wants their kid near you because you're a drug dealer. You're a naughty drug dealer. And he's like, I'm not going to tell you. And then he hears something. He's like, it's your dad. She's like, a great time as always. And she's like, listen. She's like, the principal said you can learn online, so you won't miss a grade. But she's like, turn everything in on time, yada, yada, yada. And she's all like, in the store, you have to go work at this store, at the Sarah's Friends store and everything. And then Jordan gets this text from Sarah, and she's like, chat before class, please. And he's all like, oh, man. So then we go to Allie. Now, at first, I didn't realize what was going on with Allie because she was talking to What's-His-Face and everything. But then I looked, and I noticed her name is backwards right here, okay? And I think that's Lieutenant. So, and it says Mitch Anderson. And I'm all like, if this is the world, this is the mirror world, because you notice all this background here. But if look at that lamp, that's a fun lamp. I want that lamp. Anyways, but it's backwards, and I'm all like, if that says his name, why is she sitting here? Why is she sitting here? And she's talking to Anderson from our world, who's jumped over into his Anderson. And she's all like, you killed Kal-El. And he's like, yeah. He's like, I had to, kind of thing. And she's like, huh. She's like, I need you to tell Allie, the other Allie, this, but we don't hear what she says. And I'm all like, interesting. I wonder what. And she's like, we're gonna join or we're gonna combine ourselves, kind of thing. And then he like wakes up, and she's all like, what did she say? She said, come now, and everything. And she's like, we're going to join our other selves and everything. And as soon as that happened, I was all like, no, you're not. Something's happening. Something's happened. That's the thing. Bad guys don't just help their bad self and their other self in other universes, because they're bad guys. They're in it for number one, them. So other Allie is only in it for her other Allie self. I'm all like, Allie, you are Allie. Don't believe her just because she's you. That doesn't mean she's you. Come on, and everything. So then back at this, she's like, you need to tell us and everything. He's like, Mom, you guys just drop it. And she's like, I'm not going to drop it. I'm not going to drop it and everything. This is your future, kind of thing. And I'll tell you right now, later on, he talks about how he doesn't want to say anything because it's his girlfriend and it's just her and her dad. And, you know, if they find out, he'll get fired, kind of thing. And they can't afford it. And I'm like, oh, sorry. That's the excuse. You know it's the V. That's what I said it before. He's stuck in the pussy fog. Like, this shit's got to be so good that he's just like, I can't get out of this. It's so good. And I get it. You know, you'll do stupid stuff, you know, when you're getting it. You know what I'm saying? Anyways. So she gets a call from Sophie. And Sophie's all like, or Chrissy, sorry. I don't know why I call her Sophie. Is there a Sophie on the show? I don't know. So Chrissy calls her, and she's all like, Allie called me, and she wants me to come with them because they're going to ascend. And it's a story of a lifetime. And she's like, all right, fine, but be careful. And I'm like, what? You're going to let her go? All right, whatever. So he's like, give me your cell phone. And she's like, okay. And she opens up there, and she's like, you guys are in hazmat suit. That's not creepy at all. And so they get in and they drive away. So back at school, she's like, listen, she's like, I want to be friends with the girl I cheated on you with. I do not remember her name. Don't ask me to tell you who it is. And he's all like, she's like, I want to have lunch because I want her to be a part of my life. And I'm all like, you want the person, and he goes along with it because he loves Sarah and everything, but I just want to be like, Sarah, first off, that's a huge ask from your boyfriend. A huge ask. And very selfish. To ask your boyfriend to be cool with you being friends with the person that you cheated on him with. Now, I understand it made just a kiss. But, you know, you were tempted before. What makes you think you're not going to be tempted now? Listen, I can speak from experience. If you've got somebody in your life tempting you, you exit their presence. Do not go anywhere near them. To block them from all social medias. I don't care how much she helped you with your problem with your dad. You are going to cheat again, okay? You are going to cheat again. And if you're tempted, don't even go near that. Anyway, so he gets distracted and he agrees to it. And then a girlfriend here, I don't remember her name either. She's being talked to this guy, and he's like, you owe me money. He's like, those inhalers weren't for free. And he's like, hey, back off, dude. I can speak from experience also with this. Getting involved in crap like this can get you punched in the nose. Right here. And it hurts. You're just like, and so much blood. I'll tell you that. And when you're just trying to be like, hey, back off and everything. Anyways, so then he's all like, bring me the money. And he's like, what's going on here? So back at the DOD, he's talking to him, and he's like, Anderson's gone. He's like, well, listen, we need to find him because he's got a cache load of weapons. So they go to open up the safe, and the pendant is gone. And then back at the quarry, this guy's all like, yeah, everything's good to go. And then Anderson stops him. He throws him, doesn't kill him. I'm like, good. Don't kill the soldier. He didn't do anything. And then Allie shows up, and they've got their little suits on. And she's like, it's almost time. And everything. And then back at the farm, he's all like, we can't find Anderson. We don't know where he is and everything. And I can't remember what else they say. Yeah. And so they get a text from Lucy and it says, I'm tired of feeling incomplete. I finally see the way through. And the dad tracks it at her apartment. Sorry, I had a hangnail. Apartment. And yeah. So back at the cave. We'll get back into that in just 2 seconds. They come back in the cave. They go in. Clark races off to her apartment. He's like, she's not there, just her cell phone. She's like, you know how to track her? Do you track my cell phone? And he's like, yeah, duh, and everything. So then he calls somebody at the DOD. I don't know who. Anyways, so then back at the cave, she's like, it's time. This is what we've been waiting for. And they go to this little portal thing. Now, I just want to say, Allie doesn't know what she's doing with this little portal thing. And these people are just blindly following her because she killed them and they went over to their other self with the little pendant. And the whole time I'm just like, why are you trusting these people, this woman? I'm sorry, if you killed me and just because I had a hallucination does not mean that you get my obedience. I don't understand cults. I really don't. I don't understand them. I mean, maybe I'm not as strong-willed an individual and I could be susceptible to a cult like, everybody else. But I have to be honest. If I was in a cult and everybody was all like, and they were just feeding me their mumbo-jumbo, I'd be like, you guys, we don't drink the blood of children. Like, stop it. What is going on here? This sounds like wackadoo stuff. I'd be like, I'm going to head out, okay? So, but these people, they're just going along with it. And then this guy, he steps forward because he's the first one. And I'm just like, never be the first one. I'd be like, Allie, you go first. I'll follow, okay? I just want to see what happens, okay? That's the thing. This guy starts floating and he's all like, oh yeah, I'm headed towards the light and everything. And then all these people start following after him. Now, again, I would, as soon as the first guy floated, I'd be like, hey, how about we step back and see what happens to John here? Because I'm not interested in any bad side effects, Even if I believed all the mumbo-jumbo, I'd be like, I enjoy living, so I'm going to wait for you guys to see what happens and everything. And they don't really describe what happens to them. All I know is, and then Chrissy starts floating, which was a bad idea. She should have waited. But as soon as this guy gets close, then he starts screaming. He's like, ah! And I'm all like, what's happening? Like, is it burning? Whatever. And she's like, oh crap, I made a mistake. I'm floating now. I can't stop the floating. I'm like, yeah, you drank too many fizzy lifting drinks. Oops, sorry guys. You drank too many fizzy lifting drinks and now you're headed towards the fan, okay? And burping is not going to get you out of this, honey. And then the rest of them are like, oh, God, and everything. I'm all like, yeah, you guys floated too soon. You all float and everything. You guys are, I don't know what's happening to you. This is not the Stargate. So then he takes off his mask because I think Allie told him something and then he used it against this Allie. So then Superman rushes to the mine, and she's, and everything. I'm about to die. And I'm like, yeah, you're about to die. Die, Chrissy, die, and everything. But Superman comes in, he saves everybody. And Anderson grabs the pendant from Allie. And he floats. And then Allie tries to go after him or whatever. But then he turns, and it starts to glow. It's like glowing and everything, and he passes through. And I'm like, of course you need the pendant, because that's what happened with Bizarro. He was wearing the pendant when he jumped into our world. And then these two are just sitting here all looking all dumb. And she's like, were all you saved? And he's like, yeah. So then she's all like, I don't know. But she's like, thanks for saving me. And he's like, do you know who went through the portal? He's wondering about Lucy, which we find out later. She wasn't in the group. So then back at the house, he's like, I forgot I was going to pick up John Henry from the hospital. So the back of the house, he's like, you guys, I'm really sorry something happened. She's like, yeah, something always happens and everything. Now I'm kind of like being harsh on her and everything, but I understand, the one person in her life that she still has from her family could have died. So I get that. And she's upset with Superman. I get it. I get the anger and everything. But she does have to realize that her father was the one that put himself in that position, and he made the right choice. It's always the right choice to help other people. Anyways, she's like, how can I live under the same? She's like, I think she says it later. Yeah, she says it later, but she says something about how he killed their mother and everything. She's like, I have to live underneath the same roof as the man that killed my mother. And she walks away. And then it goes back to the flashback, and she's stuck here, and the robot's all like, I'm going to put you to sleep, and then until I figure something out. And then back at the drugstore, or convenience store, it's not a drugstore. Jordan comes in. He's like, hey, I said I would go to lunch with Sarah and her girlfriend. And he's like, why are you doing this, dude? For your girlfriend. He's like, hey, you're not the only one that does, does stupid stuff for your girlfriend. I'm like, yeah, because that sweet vagina, what I'm saying? The gash is powerful. Yeah, it's very powerful. Yeah, look at that face. He's telling me, he's like, yeah, you'll know one day. Anyways, so then back here, he's like, oh, you getting ready for your debate? And she's like, yeah. And he's like, you really just need to study up on the family questions and everything. And she's like, how do I do that? And he's all like, well, I'll test you, kind of thing. Because the other stuff you got down pat. So then Allie, they are, sorry, I'm going to wrap this up real quick. Allie, they are questioning her. And he's like, who were the names of the people that were in that group? And she's like, oh, you want to know if Lucy was one of them. And she's like, I can help you. I can help you because you were deadbeat dad or whatever, because you were, career dad or whatever it was. I don't remember what she says, but I can help you see your true self. And I'm like, not without that pendant, honey. Not without that pendant. No. And he's all like, tell me where my daughter is and everything. She's like, Dad, you need to leave. And so he leaves, and she's all like, look how snug she is. It's like, honey, you've lost everything now. There's no way you can have a following now. You can't help people see their second self. So he's all like, listen, we will find Lucy. So then he's talking to her, and he's all like, he's talking to her about the whole thing, and she's all like, I didn't do any of this. She's like, my husband did it and everything. And he's all like, yeah, I know and everything. And he's like, last question. He's like, will you ever accept your husband back into your life? Will you ever forgive him? She's like, I don't know. And he's like, listen, he's like, I'm sorry about her, and my memory's, gonna get by and everything. He's like, yeah, I know, but he's like, why don't there's a garage. It's got like a little house in it, kind of thing. Why don't you guys like live there for a little while, and that way she doesn't have to live here anymore. And then he hears something. Somebody's in Lucy's apartment, and he flies there, and he's like, I already looked. There's nothing here. And she's all like, well, I have to find something. She's like, how could she leave us? Like my mother. And she's like, and he's all like, she's weak-minded, and she's all like, why does everybody leave me? And I'm all like, hello. I like Elizabeth. How do you say her last name? It's Tudyk. Tulloch, is that what? I don't remember. It doesn't matter. She does a good job. Everybody's doing a good job here, acting-wise. And look how sad she is. I like it. So then these two, she comes to visit him at work and everything, and he's all like, how much money does he owe you? Or do you owe him? And she's like, way more than any of us will ever have and everything. And he's all like, maybe, I think he says he'll help her out. I don't remember and everything. He's like, all right, let's head out. And he's like, later and everything. And he's like, I'm going to walk you home. And while they're walking home, she's like, this is why I love you. You always put me in a good mood. And he's like, wait, you love me? And she's like, yeah, I do. And I'm like, oh, that's nice and everything. I was like, and then they kiss, and I'm all like, oh, they're going to get down and dirty in the bushes. But nope, they're not, because there's the drug dealer guy with his neck tattoo. Why do they always give him neck tattoos? Why do they always do that? I don't know. he's like, hey, where's my money? And he's like, and he sniffs some of the Kryptonite X, or X Kryptonite. Jordan goes to the diner. He's going to the diner, and he's across the street. But he hears his brother being attacked by this dude, and he's just wailing on him, too. He's like, come on, you're coming with me and everything. And he goes and grabs the keys, and he throws, and he's like, try to find him now, buddy. He's like, oh, you're so dead. And I'm like, yeah, you just threw his keys. I'd kill you, too. And he punched him, and he's pretty down and everything. But his brother comes in, and he pushes him off. And then he looks back, and he's all like... And then he's like, and everything. And then he pushes him and he lands on his car. And then he's like, get out of here. I'm so sorry. It's early as of recording this. And he's like, thanks, man. He's like, it's cool and everything. And then back at the house, he's talking to her. And he's like, listen, I get it. He's like, so, you don't get it. She's like, I watched you kill my mother. And just because... she's like, I go to sleep at night wondering if you're going to turn your back on us and start murdering us in our sleep. She doesn't say all that, but I'm just paraphrasing. He's like, well, we've got a solution. So then he goes back to the diner and he notices that that he's got cuts all over him. And he's like, I can't go in here like this and everything. And she's all like, is he coming? And she's like, oh, if he doesn't, he's probably got a good excuse. And he does. You know what gets me is, why didn't he go in there and be like, Jordan was, attacked by some crazy drug dealer? Tell Sarah the truth. I mean, he doesn't have to tell her about where Jordan got the drugs. But, I think that she would understand. Because now she's just going to be mad. She's just going to... All they're doing is pushing her into the arms of this person that she cheated with. Because she's a cheater. So he leaves. He should have texted her, but like, hey, I'm not coming. I can explain everything. It was bad. So back at the house, she's all like, they're like, we'll find Lucy kind of thing. And then Lucy shows up at the farm. And she's all like, oh, I don't know what I was doing. I shouldn't have gone. I knew something was weird. They made me get rid of my phone and everything. And I'm like, do not trust her. That's the thing. Don't get me wrong. Family is everything. But I'm like, I'm sorry. You cannot trust your sibling. Like, I don't understand that. Like, come on, guys. Like, but they're doing a good job. This is totally good for the show. Look at that face. You can tell she's the devil. And so I'm not sure what's going on here. But anyways, so back at the house, they're talking. And I can't remember what they talk about here. I'm sorry, you guys. But he tells her that he's got a place now. And he's all like... he's like, he says something about how he can pay for doing whatever. And she's like, it's not the money. It's just... She's like, it's a big deal that you're getting your own place now. And she's all like, all right, I gotta go. So they go look at the garage, and she sees it, and she remembers that her coming out of it. She's the computer's like, you've been asleep for 6 months. I found a way out, and gets her out. She's like, I'm coming to you, Dad. And she's like, it's perfect, and everything, and they hug, and they're good. So then she's like, I'm so glad Lucy's here. We're gonna go have brunch tomorrow and everything. It's gonna be so great and everything. So he shows up, and he's like, I walked my girlfriend home, and Dad's like, no. He's like, you don't get to walk your girlfriend home anymore without permission. He's like, you need to ask me before you do anything. You're at the store or you're here studying. That's it. Anything else needs permission. He's like, okay. She's like, listen, we need to figure that. We need to put a stop to that, the whole permission thing, and we need to figure out what we're going to do with him because we can't keep doing this kind of thing. Which I go, I don't know if that's the best advice, Lois, but whatever. They're your kids. You do whatever you want. That's the thing. We have children, and we screw them up in our own way. Gosh, I hope I'm not screwing up my kids. Anyways, so Jordan's sitting here playing video games. He comes, he's like, hey, man, thanks for saving me. How was your thing? And he's like, I couldn't go with all these scars and stuff. How would I explain this? I'm like, you just tell the truth. Tell your girlfriend the truth. She would understand. And he's like, why are you doing this? And everything. This is where he tells her, he's like, Kayla, she's, it's just her and her dad, and she was selling it for the money because she was trying to help her dad out with the money kind of thing. And I'm all like, yeah, and everything. And he's all like, yeah. He's looking at him. He's like, yeah, that sweet vagina's good, huh? I totally think that's what it is. Like, it's, anyways. So back at Lucy's apartment, he's all telling me, he's like, yeah, you used to like chocolate chip pancakes or some crap like that. And then, long story short, she put stuff in his tea. She drugged his tea. She's like, yeah, I did. I was the failsafe. And he's like, why? And she's like, because I need your badge to get into the DOD. And she's like, so I can help Allie become her true self. And she's all like, sorry. And then she like, you know, like does one of these kind of things and everything. And then that's the end of the episode. And like I said before, this was a good episode. It wasn't like overwhelmingly action packed as far as that goes, just because like we only got the fight scene with Jordan and the drug dealer, and then the Superman flying in to save the dumb cult followers. But I mean, this was still a good episode. Like I enjoyed it immensely, just in the sense like it was very suspenseful with Lucy and then them floating towards the little, acid wormhole, whatever it was, and then, all that stuff. It was fun. It was fun and everything. Now I think that, I don't know what I think. I don't know what I think. Well, because we're going to go into, I think we're going to go into that little mirror universe world or whatever. Into the Bizarro world next episode. I think that's where we're going from the promo. And I have to say, I think that's where we're going to see, we saw those pictures. Hold on, let me pull that up. We saw those pictures of Superboy, but Jonathan Kent is hold on, I'm looking it up. I'm looking it up right now. But we saw him as Superboy, but from the 90s or whatever. He's got that bad boy look kind of thing. Hold on, I'm pulling it up right now. And I think that's him going to the mirror universe, and that's Jonathan Kent in the mirror universe. This picture right here. And this is very reminiscent of the Superboy look from like the 80s or whatever. And at first I didn't like this, but I was like, if this is from because I was like, if they do this on the TV show, this is such a like, who designed this look for him? Like this is not good. I personally don't like it. But at the same time, if this is in the mirror, that Bizarro world universe, then I'm so down with it. Cause I'm like, yeah, no, that makes sense, kind of thing. And I like it and everything. Yeah, I think they're just doing everything right with this show. I really do enjoy it. I think it's so good. I like it. I can't wait for the next episode. I can't, excuse me. I can't wait to see where they go with this show, like where they take it. What they do with it, all that good stuff. Like I'm really excited about it. Like I think, yeah, like I said, I think they're doing this show right. Everybody's doing a good job. I'm really enjoying it. Yeah, I just I really all right, I'm gonna stop yapping because I'm like now I'm just going over the same thing. Sorry, I'm trying to move some stuff around. Tell me, what did you guys think about this episode? And then do you think that Allie and Anderson are going to become some kind of, parasite / doomsday kind of thing when they join their other self? Like the person in my comment section said, I'll put up their thing. I don't like to name people because I don't know if they like that kind of thing. I'm not going to name anybody because I don't know if people like that. I don't know if they want attention brought to them or whatnot. And I don't like to do that to people if they don't like it. But yeah, tell me what you guys thought about this. Go ahead and leave all your comments in that section down below. If you like this video, go and hit that like button. I won't mind. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it. And we'll see you guys next week on Superman and Lois Breakdown and Review. You guys have a good week. Bye.